My apologies for that there, YouTube. But this is your host, Double J Jason James, and you are watching Make Canada A Again. So, yeah, let's get started. So, you're wondering, my wondering, well, why is he on the New Brunswick Liberal webpage for? What would drive him to go on there? I totally be honest with you, I totally forget what originally got me thinking about this last week. But sometime last week, I was going through something, I forget exactly what it was. I was doing some research on some stuff, and I came across the the New Brunswick Liberal page, and if you haven't noticed, it stopped on the Donate Today section. So I've been going through this website, and I've noticed that one, this is blurred out for some odd reason, because you can tell how it's pixelated right there and pixelated right there, and pixelated right there as well. But it seems like to me that the Liberals are on a huge campaign to start gaining revenue for the next election. So, meet Justin Trudeau. I'm going to click on that because that's actually a new one. Meet Justin Trudeau. And we automatically jump in to the federal page. And then it says all the stuff about Justin and what Justin has been doing. Okay, yeah, you can read that if you want. But that's not what we're talking about here. It's another Prime Minister, and there it is right there. An evening with John Chrétien. An evening with John Chrétien on Wednesday, April 12, 2017 at the St. John Trade Convention Center. Please send your RSVP by April 7th, which is in 3 days' time. Click here to download the form. So, that's cool. That's a small business tax being cut. And Edmonton to host official New Brunswick Day celebration. Might actually want to read about that a little bit more later. But this is what interested me when I first seen this, was the evening with John Chrétien. John Chrétien, former Prime Minister of Canada. He was the Prime Minister of Canada throughout the majority of the 90s. He was the Prime Minister of Canada before Paul Martin. Pretty much the last good Liberal Prime Minister, people say. Something you may not know about John Chrétien, but he was actually on the board of like directors or something along those lines that was going to decide and elect what city should get the next Memorial Cup. And John Chrétien's hometown, I believe it was, Shawinigan's his hometown, and I got it right here. His hometown, Shawinigan, Cadaks or Shadaks, whatever the frick they're called, they end up getting the Memorial Cup tournament. In our hometown here in St. John, did not get the Memorial Cup. Why? Because this guy was on the board. So, as it says right here, he won a majority in 1993, got re-elected in 97, got re-elected in 2000. He was in office for over 10 years. Leader of opposition for 3 years. Second deputy prime minister for a few months. Industry of, resource, this, fire, held all kinds of posts. He's been around before Jesus was. Minister of National Revenue. Minister without a portfolio, member of St. Maurice for, over 10 years. Parliamentarian of Beaujeu. Isn't that in New Brunswick? Yeah, it is. Oh, wow. Did not know that he was, The more you know, eh? So, all kinds of stuff down here. Lawyer, Roman, whatever. All kinds of stuff. That's not what's important. This is what's important. So this is why you want to come see him, all the stuff that I previously showed you. And here's, the evening with John Chrétien. And it's in the Trade Convention Center, really nice spot, built in the 80s. It's, really done up really nicely. It's at 7 o'clock. It's on, it's on a Wednesday night. A big gala dinner, different tables. All of the liberal elites in St. John will be there, in New Brunswick, and probably even the premier, and he'll be nudging necks against all of them. So it says right here, we're very excited to announce our next provincial fundraiser. And John Cartoon, as a former MP for the riding of Boisier or whatever, his connection to New Brunswick is strong. Join us and our guests across the Atlantic region, so even Atlantic delegates, for this unique event with one of the country's most respected prime ministers. Here's the part that is sincerely fucked up. The gold package champagne reception, so you're going to get this champagne reception like, hey, hey, look at this guy, and dinner is $500. $500, and it doesn't give you any more details. So I don't know if that's per group of 4 or 5. If it's $100 a piece, is a little more reasonable. But if that's $500 a person, that's insane. The entry level is $200. $200. Now let's just figure this out. Even if the meal costs you $60 a plate, and I understand that they're renting this place, but they're renting it from an organization which is in the city, so it would be a subsidized one by the provincial government anyways. So this is making me wonder, how much of this money is going to Christian, or how much of this money is going to them? It doesn't make sense. Like, even if there was 100 people there, and they even got the 200 pricing, that's $20,000. I'm pretty sure that would give them more than what they would need. So I find that ridiculous. And here's what I want to bring up. Here's the ridiculous part. So this is in St. John, one of the poorest cities in all of New Brunswick, and all of Canada for that matter. One of the poorest parts. And look at this. If attendance is not possible, a donation to the event would be greatly accepted and very much appreciated. It seems like they're pushing for donations, because they know it's election coming up, and they know they haven't been doing a good job. That's what I think it is. So this is the 2006 census. 13.8% of New Brunswickers live in poverty. There's almost 30,000 or over 29,000 single mothers in New Brunswick. 45.4% of them are living in poverty. There are 143,593 people in New Brunswick who are under 18, approximately 23,221 of them, or 16.4% of them, are living in poverty. There's 107,640 seniors in New Brunswick. 10.9% of them, or 11,733, live in poverty. Approximately 38,984 New Brunswickers are receiving social assistance. That is ridiculous numbers. Okay, so there must be some affluent in society. It must be, these are small numbers compared to whatever. You have your biggest number was just the youth. Okay, half of New Brunswick families make under 54,000. Half of single mothers make under 25,900, which is half that. Half of New Brunswick single person's income is 20,200 or less. Out of the 217,790 families in New Brunswick, 7.4% have an income or less of 20,000 a year. Of the 90,000 single people in New Brunswick, myself being one of them, 49% of them have an income of less than 20,000 a year. That's ridiculous. That means, if you want to look at it this way, if I'm a single person, if I was to make $20,000 a year, as this said, $20,000 a year, and I had to pay, let's say, the $500 or even the $200, that $200 is 1% of my income. 1% of my income automatically goes to that silver package. The gold package, that's $500. The average apartment in St. John for one bedroom for a single person is $600 a month. Most people, and that's probably before taxes, most people make $200 a month take home. That is only a little over $14,000. So who's affording this $500 dinner? Who's affording this $200 dinner? It's obviously not these people right here. It's obviously not. Look, and there's more stats. There's more stats I can't give you because the time at top telling me they're running it because I'm using a free program here. But who is sponsoring this? Who's funding this? It's obviously not the lower class. It's obviously not the working class or the working poor, the third class citizens. It might be the middle class, but who is it? It's the elites. It's the ones who can afford to spend $500 on a meal and not have to worry about it. So it makes you wonder, who's the big money rollers who are funding the Liberals in their fundraising? Who's showing up to see Brian Gallant, Atlanta representatives, and John Chrétien? Who has that kind of money? The only people with that kind of money are the 1%. And what did Justin Trudeau campaign on? Eliminating all that 1%. Nostalgia and stuff like that. So guess what? That's who's funding our Liberal Party, folks. Make Canada A again.